Hello everyone, my name is Jullianna Oke and I am a second year dance major at the School for Contemporary Arts. And the film you just watched is one that I directed and produced for the student show called Ascension. And Ascension is basically a student run, student directed, everything is student organized, and it promotes interdisciplinary collaboration between the different departments within the school. The dance film backbone represents the process and struggle that we all go through in order to become stronger and get the backbone. So usually we have to go through some unpleasant circumstances that we don't like, that either self-inflicted or because of the actions of someone else. But once we go through those, then we have that awareness and we know how to approach it next time. And we've gotten stronger because we have gone through that process. One thing that this project and work really allowed me to do was open up to being vulnerable, and especially being vulnerable through collaboration. So a lot of the times I would go to Bo, the film student, or Chris, the composer, and say, hey, this is the idea that I have. That is what it is. There's a lot of aspects that I don't know. Um, what are your thoughts? Because I was the director and kind of the one in charge, there was I was a little bit torn within myself, because a lot of the times if you're in charge and like you're expected to know what you're doing, and you're expected to like kind of like have it all together and have an idea. Whereas like this was one of my first times collaborating where the process kind of all came together at once, and it came together simultaneously because we were all working together. So it wasn't a case of me having preset choreography and then the music going along to that. And it also wasn't the music being completely set and then me dancing alongside that. And it wasn't necessarily always dancing and choreographing with the light. It was sometimes with and sometimes without. Didn't necessarily know some of the editing styles that we were going to use, or whether we were going to use slow motion or not, until we were there. Just kind of being open to change, being open to being vulnerable, and saying to my collaborators, like, I don't know what I want for this specific section, or I don't know what I want in terms of this aspect. But then kind of like coming together and being able to create something that I know we're all really proud of, and that it's not just like the work isn't solely mine. It's something that we all kind of worked together on, and I'm very proud of it. I think it was definitely a different approach to collaboration, because we didn't all work on our own individual elements and then come together. It was the three of us kind of like making everything together. And there were certain individual elements within that, but I think communication was key, and being open to being vulnerable. So if there's one thing that I really want to stress throughout this process, and something that I discovered as a result of Backbone, it's that there's always a space to be open, and there's a space to be truthful. Like if you don't know what's going on, then it's okay to ask your peers and ask for their opinions or their thoughts or their help in forming something new, especially in terms of collaboration. I think that a lot of times with me personally, I would want to know exactly what I was doing going into it and have like a set direct plan. But I think I definitely learned that there's an openness to change, and there's multiple ways of approaching collaborating. It's not just kind of set in stone. Thank you so much for tuning into my presentation, and I hope that everyone has a really good rest of their day and evening.